Someone please explain to me why every single picture of John C. Calhoun appears as if John C. Calhoun has just been startled by John C. Calhoun in the mirror in the morning. Every single one. Who the hell is John C. Calhoun, you ask? You know how history has its villains hidden in plain sight a lot? Allow me to introduce you to one of the most important and most dangerous politicians in early America. John C. Good Lord, what was that? Calhoun. Hi, I'm Chris, and I bring you the stories that make you change the way you think about pretty much everything. What other Civil War era stories do you want to know more about? Let me know down in the comments. Now, John C. Calhoun brandished his finger in a light socket hair and crazy eyes from the late 1700s into the mid 1800s. And he held almost every major political government job you can think of. He was a congressman, a senator, the Secretary of War, Secretary of State, and even Vice President of the United States. Twice, under two presidents, John Quincy Adams and Andrew Jackson. But right here is where the story gets the patented John C. Calhoun stare.
Crazy eyes.
Calhoun became the loudest national defender of slavery. That was a fairly popular position then, not so much today. He saw slavery not as something unfortunate, though. He called it a positive good. He argued that enslaved people were cared for, that the system produced stability, and that Southern society could not function without it. These arguments became the intellectual backbone of later pro-slavery politics. Calhoun also believed that the United States was a union of sovereign states. That means each state kept ultimate authority and could pick and choose which of the laws that they kind of wanted to follow. That belief exploded during the nullification crisis. When Congress passed high tariffs in the 1820s and the 1830s, South Carolina, they weren't having it. They declared the tariffs null and void within the state. Calhoun supported them. President Andrew Jackson called it treason. That crisis nearly fractured the country decades before the Civil War. Calhoun's ideas shaped the arguments that led the South towards secession and the Civil War. He died before the war started, but many historians see him as one of the thinkers that helped set the stage for it. Calhoun was intense and analytical. His speeches were long, logical, and cold. He was not a charismatic crowd pleaser. He was the man sharpening the arguments others would later use. So if you're into trying to understand how the United States drifted into the Civil War, you cannot sleep on John C. Calhoun, a man whose ideas had huge consequences the country is still living with today. Like, follow, share, and subscribe for stories that history lost.